Hi friends, welcome to Healthy Habits with Tucson Village Farm. My name's Celine. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're going to learn how to build a healthy eating style and build it throughout our lifetime by using MyPlate. But what is MyPlate? Some of you may have already heard of MyPlate or be a little bit familiar with it. MyPlate will help us visualize the right mix of foods that can help us be healthier now and in the future. This means that it's very important for us to focus on variety, the amount of foods that we're consuming, and the nutrients in those foods that we're consuming, and that's exactly what we're going to be learning about today. Throughout this video, you may see this pop up on your screen. Feel free to pause your video at this time to participate in any of the activities that we're talking about, or just take a moment to think about the questions if you want to, or just fill out any of the worksheets that we have included in this video as well. A lot of the free material that you can incorporate to these lessons will be listed in the description box below. All you have to do is click on the link, and if you have access to a printer, you can print. If not, feel free to grab a blank piece of paper and a marker, draw your own stuff, and just participate however you would like. So this is what my plate looks like. You'll notice that half of the plate is made up of fruits and vegetables, and the other half is made up of greens and protein, with also a side of dairy, which makes up 5 food groups. We are going to discuss every food group in detail, so feel free to download the first file that's listed down below, or you can draw your own MyPlate and fill it in with any crayons, any colors, and design it however you would like as we talk about that specific topic, just so you can follow along and then write your own notes if you would like. Okay, let's begin by talking about fruits and vegetables. It's really important to make half of your plate fruits and vegetables because they supply us with vitamins and minerals that are crucial for our body's well-being. They help us build our immune system so we can fight infections or any diseases when we get sick, and they also provide us with fiber, which keep our gut really healthy and prevent any digestive issues. So fruits, as you may know, are the super sweet, come from trees, and they usually have a seed inside of them. On the other hand, vegetables do not, and they're mostly leafy greens, things like that. Go ahead and take a moment to color your fruits and vegetables section a red and a green if you would like, or however you would like to design it. And in 1 minute, write as many fruits and vegetables that you can think of, and whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and come back and join us. Okay, at this point, you should have the fruits and vegetables colored in, and I hope that you wrote down a few of the fruits and a few of the vegetables that came to mind. Some of the ones that come to mind for me are things like mangoes, oranges, bananas, grapes, apples, and avocados, because avocados have a seed, right? So they are considered a fruit. And some of the vegetables that come to my mind are things like Brussels sprouts, spinach, cauliflower, broccoli, lettuce, things of that nature. Notice how both of these food groups have a lot of color, and that's exactly what we're looking for in half of our plate. At Tucson Village Farm, we're always talking about how important it is for us to eat a rainbow, and that's because we know that if we are getting different fruits and vegetables to make all of these awesome colors, we know that we are getting the appropriate vitamins and minerals that our body needs to be healthy. At this point, I hope that you're thinking to yourself, how much fruits and vegetables should I be getting? And it's kind of hard to answer that question through a video because I don't know exactly who is watching, because everybody is different. So the amount of fruits and vegetables that I need may be different to the amount of fruits and vegetables that you need. However, on average, somebody between the ages of 9 and 14 years old should be consuming about 4 cups of fruits and vegetables combined in one day. This means that you can probably have 1 banana for breakfast, 1 cup of carrots as a snack, half a cup of green beans for lunch with your meal, half a cup of strawberries later on in the day as a snack, and maybe a potato for dinner. So you can see if you grab a little bit of fruits and vegetables throughout the day, it should add up to about 4 cups. But ideally, if half of your plate has a little bit of color in it, a little bit of greens, yellows, reds, oranges, I think you would be good to go. We're all finished with fruits and vegetables, but to go ahead and summarize, it's really important for you to consume half your plates of fruits and vegetables just so that you can get the appropriate amount of vitamins, minerals, and fiber, and all those wonderful things that fruits and vegetables bring to your body. And if you ever have a hard time thinking about how much you should be eating, just try to focus on making half of your plate full of color, and I think you'll be good to go. Okay, now moving on to grains. I want you to take a moment and think to yourself about what is a grain. And you can go ahead and pause if you need to, go ahead and think about it for yourself, and then come back whenever you're ready. Grains are the seeds of grasses, and some example of grains are things like wheat, corn, barley, oats, and rice. Those are just some examples. Every grain that grows in its original form is a whole grain. A whole grain is made up of 3 parts: the germ, the endosperm, and the bran. Each of the 3 parts contain important components for our nutrition. Let's begin by talking about the endosperm. The endosperm provides carbohydrates and protein, which give us energy. The germ is in the middle of the grain, and that is responsible for giving us vitamins and minerals and keeping our brain super sharp. The bran is the outer shell of the grain, which protects the seed. It contains fiber and has a lot of B vitamins, so essentially it just provides us with fiber and cleans out our system, makes sure that we're super healthy in our gut area as well. So right now I'm talking about whole grains. Whole grains are very different from refined grains, and we're going to talk about that later on if you follow these lessons to another video. But very briefly, let's go ahead and differentiate between a whole grain and a refined grain. So refined grains have actually been stripped from 2 very important nutrients that the whole grain over here provides for us. The whole grain, like we talked about earlier, has the bran, the endosperm, and germ. For a refined grain, there is no germ or bran, so you are lacking the fiber that it was providing for your digestion, and you're also lacking the germs, vitamins, and minerals. And the only thing that you're getting is the energy that the endosperm was providing. A little bit of protein as well, but mostly that energy. If we're comparing things like whole grains to refined grains, on this side we would have whole wheat bread, on this side we would have white bread. On this side we would have brown rice, and on this side we would have white rice. Although they are both providing us with energy and a little bit of protein, we are definitely missing out the benefits of the fiber and the vitamins and minerals that a whole grain has. Now that we know how important whole grains are, it's really important for us to include whole grains in our plate. So let's go ahead and visualize half of our plate looking like fruits and vegetables, and a little bit on the side having some of those whole grains. What does that look like for you? For me, I am imagining something like half a cup of brown rice, or maybe a slice of whole wheat toast, or a little bit of quinoa, something like that in your plate along with your fruits and vegetables. So at this point, if you're following along, you should have colored the grains portion, whatever color you decided, and now we're going to be moving on to the protein. So what is protein? Protein is another one of those nutrients that our body really need in order to maintain health. There are a lot of sources of protein, and the first thing that a lot of people think about protein are meat products, but there are also a lot of non-meat products that you can get your protein from. It is recommended that from ages 9 to 14 that we have about 5 ounces of protein a day. So go ahead and take a moment and think of some of the things that can provide protein that are not meat. So some of those non-meat products that provide protein is actually one of the other food groups in the MyPlate diagram, which is dairy. Dairy is really important for us to consume because it has calcium. And calcium is really important to build super healthy bones. It's also really important in building strong teeth. It also has some function in your brain to send signals throughout your entire body, and it's also really important in heart health as well. Take a moment to think about those non-meat products that can also provide your body with some protein. Some of those products include beans and lentils, some leafy greens, peanut butter, eggs, edamames. So it looks like we've covered every single food group on the MyPlate. We have talked about fruits, vegetables, whole grains, protein, and dairy at this point. I'd like to go ahead and summarize every key point that we talked about throughout this video, and go ahead and pause at any time if you need to take any notes and continue filling out your MyPlate graph. Fruits and vegetables are super important for vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Whole grains are super important because they provide vitamins and minerals as well, fiber, and that energy that our body needs. Protein is responsible for building the framework and the structure of our body, as well as wound healing and tissue and muscle repair. And dairy is really important because it provides calcium, which builds really strong bones and is responsible for other key components like our heart and brain function. One of the best ways to incorporate those fruits, vegetables, and greens, proteins, and dairy is to make a rainbow smoothie. I left a link to one of our friends from Tucson Village Farm as well that shows you exactly how to create a rainbow smoothie that you can make at home. It's super fun and easy. Aside from incorporating all these amazing food groups because they provide us with awesome nutrients for our body body to function properly and live a really healthy lifestyle, it's really important for us to be physically active as well. It is recommended to participate in at least 60 minutes a day of physical activity, whether that be running or walking, dancing, doing any kind of sport just to keep the body moving. Our food is going to be used to fuel us to get throughout those physical activities and to provide that appropriate blood flow and keep our bodies as healthy as can be. Thank you so much for watching our video. I really hope you learned something. I'll see you at the next one. Bye!